What is up, guys? It's BT back here again with another review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Note 9. Now this is the first phone review on the channel, and I figured what better way than to get this amazing device. So I picked it up and I've been using it for the past 2 weeks. I took it to Hong Kong overseas, and it was my main device over there for taking photos, for making calls, for texting, for media consumption while I was overseas. I didn't bring my laptop, I didn't bring a tablet, I just brought the Note 9, and this thing did not disappoint me. So today I want to give you guys a little bit of a different perspective and something that I didn't see most reviews mentioning, and that is the sound. This thing is amazing for your Bluetooth devices as well. So I want to go over some of the details about that and more in this review. But before we begin, guys, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more content like this. Now, coming from a smaller device, an iPhone X, this 6.4 QHD Super AMOLED display looks gorgeous. It's really big. It's great for media, for gaming, for consuming videos like YouTube and things like that, which I loved. It's super vibrant and super punchy. With that comes a lot of saturation, and I did notice that compared to my iPhone X that the pictures did really get a little bit oversaturated sometimes, especially like skin tones, but because of the punchy, vibrant colors, it makes everything that much more fun. It makes games pop out of your screen. It makes photos pop out of your screen. And another thing that I like about the size of this is that I can show people memes and not have them grab my phone. You guys know what I'm talking about. You just want to show somebody your phone. You just want to say, hey, look at this like funny thing, ha ha ha, and they grab your phone because they can't see it because they're on this little screen, right? So I really enjoyed just being able to show people from far away, and they can just read and see the whole meme without even having to grab my phone out of my hand. So that is a very nice feature. That's not really a feature, but it's something that I enjoyed. One thing I did notice with the Infinity display is that on the rounded edges, sometimes lighting can kind of make a line across the top, kind of a glare. So it's depending on the light, you just have to turn the phone sometimes, but I did notice that it did happen some of the time. Coming from an iPhone user, this phone is huge. Now I've had the 6 Plus in the past, and coming up to this phone, it's just wow. You need 2 hands to really operate this phone, and they kind of make it that way, right, with the S Pen, and we'll get more into the usages of the S Pen later. Build quality of this phone looks amazing. I love the blue and I love the yellow contrasting pen. So the design, it looks amazing, it feels amazing in your hand, the buttons feel great. I don't know why they put in a Bixby button. I know that you can download software to get rid of it, but why do you need a full-fledged Bixby button? Nobody uses Bixby. I mean, do you? Let me know down in the comments below. Now this thing has a face and iris scanner, and I did notice that you really have to look up top to where the camera is sometimes for it to register your face with the iris, which could be annoying at sometimes. It wasn't as fast as my iPhone X where I can just like look down and it can somehow recognize my face from an angle. But this one, you really have to put it in front of your face for it to work. But that being said, it does work. It also has a fingerprint reader on the back, which is nice. And I really like the placement of the fingerprint reader. It also doesn't need a dongle to use headphones. That's right, it has a headphone jack, guys, which is very nice because I was able to bring my Shure SE846s along with me on the trip. And I just enjoyed not having to have something extra in between me and my phone, and not having to worry about, do I have my dongle with me? So that was nice. It also uses USB-C, which you plug into the bottom to charge the phone. It also connects wirelessly. You can wirelessly charge this phone as well, which is nice. Now I found the S Pen to be great. I love just pulling this thing out, making notes and things like that. I thought that it would be gimmicky and that I wouldn't use it, but I actually used it a lot. Like I was pulling out when I had a thought about something I want to do for these videos, or a thought about the review for this phone or other devices. I was able to just pull out my phone and just write it down. I didn't have to have a notebook on me like I do sometimes. I just pulled out my phone and was able to just write, and it's so much nicer than typing on a phone. I don't know, I'm a very hands-on person. I really like the feeling of just writing and creating, so it was nice to just have that pen there and pull it out and make notes. It also has other usages like skipping songs by pressing double tapping it and triple tapping it to go back. It also has a play button for playing songs. I use it sometimes only when I had my pen out and I was writing something already that I used the double tapping. Other than that, I just left it as is. I would just control my music regularly. You can also take pictures with the S Pen as well, which is nice. If you want to prop your phone up somewhere and take a picture across the room, you can do that as well. I found the UI of this coming from the iPhone X a lot snappier than the iPhone X, and that was surprising to me. I always thought Apple had one of the smoothest experiences out there, but this phone is fast and it's smooth. Android has improved a lot. Now, I had the Android G1 back in the day, and that thing was like the first Android device. So I've been with Android since the beginning up until I think the S2, Galaxy S2. So it's nice coming back to this phone and really seeing the progress that they've made. Back in the day, you used to have to run ROMs and things like that, and I didn't want to have to deal with that just to make my phone run fast. But they really made TouchWiz a lot better, and it runs a lot faster nowadays, and I don't feel like it gets in the way of me controlling the phone or doing what I need to do with the phone. There's also two versions of this phone. There's a 6GB 128, and there's an 8GB of RAM and 512 gigs of storage, which is amazing. That's mind-blowing, and that is expandable up to 1 terabyte. You can put a 512 gigabyte micro SD card into one of these phones, which is one thing that I didn't notice any other reviewers mentioning, is that this has aptX HD and Sony's LDAC. Now, I just picked up the Sony 1000X M3s. They sound amazing, and I was able to turn on LDAC, which is the highest transfer rate of music through Bluetooth right now. So there's not going to be any lag. You're going to get the best possible quality from your music as well, and nobody's talking about this. That is amazing. Now, in comparison, the Apple codec that the iPhone uses is AAC, which only transfers up to 256 kbps a second, whereas this is 996 kbps. That is almost 5 times the data rate transfer, guys. Wow. So that's one thing. If you're really serious about music and you love Bluetooth and things like that, and you have Bluetooth headphones or devices, you want the best possible quality, you're a quality fiend, an audiophile fiend, go with the Note 9. This thing is amazing for music. So let's talk about the camera for a little bit. These have dual 12 megapixel cameras on the back and a front facing camera that is amazing. I really love all the selfie modes, like the Selfie Focus mode. I did notice that the Selfie Focus mode, it blurs out the background and things like that. But if you have 2 people in the picture, it kind of doesn't know what to blur out, and it can kind of be hit or miss, and some of your face can end up being blurred. But if it's one person, you want to take a selfie somewhere, it works really, really well. I also love the selfie wide mode, where you can get a wide vision of your surroundings by tilting the phone. It's actually really, really good. I love that you can like hold your hand up to the camera, and it will then give you a 3-second countdown to take the picture. And here I'm going to show you guys a couple of pictures that I took while I was on vacation in Hong Kong. It also shoots 4K video, and it has slow-mo. This camera looks good, and I think it can compete with the iPhone X. And another thing that I really, really enjoyed is using the S Pen to edit my pictures. Now, not the cheesy ones and all that stuff in the app, but I actually use Lightroom a lot to edit it, and you can like select, deselect, you can edit certain parts with the brush and things like that, the highlights, the midtones and things like that, color. And it really, really does a good job. I love the pen for this reason, and it's another reason why I think this is just a great all-around media phone. Now, one thing I want to touch on that I haven't touched on lastly is the battery life. Now, when I was in Hong Kong, I never had to worry about this phone dying. Point blank period. I just let this thing, I just used it all day. I'll use it all day. I'll get back with 50%. I would use it for finding restaurants, I would use it for watching videos, I would use it for taking pictures, I would use it for Instagram, YouTube, everything, and I never had to worry about this phone. Whereas the iPhone, I had to bring my battery pack, but I did not use my battery pack once on my trip, guys. And I was out all day from like, I'm talking about 9 a.m. to midnight. I was out all day, and this phone, I never had to worry about it dying on me. This phone is amazing. I definitely recommend it, especially I know a lot of you guys here are for headphones, and this thing goes really well with any headphone that you want. Again, if you have Sony, if you have something that uses aptX, Bluetooth, or the HD, this thing knocks all of it out of the park. It has a great camera, all day battery life, a great screen for watching YouTube, like my videos, hint hint. It's all around just a great device. I have no complaints. The only complaint that I can see is that I have to handle this with 2 hands. Now I did drop this once because I was fidgeting around with it and things like that, and I ended up dropping it because it was so big. So this is a 2-handed device. If you're okay with all that, you love the S Pen, you want a great camera, you consume a lot of media, this phone is gonna be a great choice. It's coming in at $1,000, which is kind of steep, but I think for all the features that they pack into this, I think something like this is more worth it than an iPhone X right now. Alright guys, so that is going to do it for this review. I hope you guys have enjoyed this review. If you have any more questions about the Note 9 or you want to just say hello down below, I'll be sure to answer you guys. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.